David Harrison and Greg Anderson work for the Living Tongues Institute. Chris Renner is a photographer for the National Geographic Society. Their aim is to help save ancient languages, which are disappearing, by writing them down and also recording them using modern technology. They're interviewing a man in Australia who is possibly the last speaker of a language that most people thought has died out. The team challenged his words and recorded the interview. There are 7,000 known languages in the world, but more than half of them will probably disappear in the next 50 years. And when a language disappears, we lose the information about the words that its speakers had. Every 2 weeks around the planet, a language disappears, completely disappear forever and ever. So what we are doing with the Enduring Voice project is really kind of trying to bring awareness to the whole issue of the language lost around the planet. After Australia, the team travels on. This time, they travel to the northeast of India, an area near Bhutan, Myanmar, and China. It's a region where there are many different languages, but many of them could die out in the next few years. For the team, there are problems with the technology. The equipment isn't working. Say something. Something that I'm really getting annoyed at is this equipment making my life hassle. Go real loud. Hey! Okay, that worked. Good enough. Most of these local languages are not written anywhere, so the researcher want to record as much of the languages as possible. The team arrives in the large village called Hong. Many of the older people speak the local language called Apantani, but the language cannot survive if the younger people don't speak it. It's very easy in these communities to find young people who are speaking English and Hindi and not speaking the traditional languages. They neglect them, they perhaps even abandoning them. The team spends time trying to find some younger people who speak the language. We definitely want to find younger people speaker because they're one that will be showing the shift. The older speaker, of course, will have the language, so it will be interesting to see if the people in the modern times, if they still keep it. The team meets a young man named Vijay, who speaks English and Patani. Vijay invites them into his home. A local Indian called Ganesh Murmu helps the researchers while they record basic words of the local languages. Each member of the family says something more words. As well as doing their own research, the team trains local people to use special language technology kits. These technology kits have a laptop computer, video game, cameras, and basic recording equipment, so the local community can record the last speakers of all language using modern technology. Not only are these languages are small, with there's a few thousand speakers in some, but the numbers may be decreasing as people shift over to global languages. Finally, it's time for the three men to leave this part of India, but they hope that the local communities will use the technology kits and record these important parts of their local culture. They hope that the people will listen to words of the older people and try to keep the language alive and speak it themselves.